Have you ever wondered why some people seem perfectly healthy one year and the next? Their doctor tells them their kidneys are failing? It feels sudden, but it isn't. The truth is, kidney damage builds up quietly year after year until one day your own blood starts turning toxic inside you. What's terrifying is that you could lose up to 90% of your kidney function and still feel fine. No pain, no symptoms, no warning signs. And by the time the fatigue, swelling, or high blood pressure show up, the damage is already deep. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and in over 25 years of practice, I've seen too many good people blindsided by those numbers. On a lab report rising, creatinine dropping, GFR, and a doctor saying the words no one ever wants to hear: chronic kidney disease. But what if I told you there's another path that nature has already placed quiet healers right in front of us? Simple everyday foods that can lower inflammation, improve circulation, and help your kidneys filter more efficiently. Today, I'll show you 5 powerful dry fruits that don't just taste good. They can actively help decrease creatinine and support a healthier GFR. They're affordable, backed by research, and easy to include in your daily routine. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know which ones to choose, but how to use them the right way to give your kidneys a second chance at life. When I first met Robert, a retired engineer in his late 60s, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Doctor, I thought I was doing everything right, eating salads, cutting sugar, yet my creatinine kept climbing." His lab showed a GFR of 48. That means almost half his filtering power was gone. The culprit wasn't what he ate too much of, but what he was missing: real anti-inflammatory fats that help blood flow smoothly through the kidneys. That's where walnuts came in. Walnuts are small but mighty. Just one handful, about 7/2 packs, roughly 2.5 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, the same kind of healing fats found in fish oil. These omega-3s calm inflammation in kidney tissue, helping the microscopic filters inside your kidneys, called nephrons, work more efficiently. When inflammation drops, blood moves more freely, filtration improves, and your creatinine levels can slowly start to fall. It's like unclogging a filter that's been jammed for years, and the science backs it up. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that diets rich in omega-3s improve endothelial function. That's how flexible your blood vessels are. Better flexibility means better oxygen delivery to kidney cells. Think of it as giving your kidneys a smoother highway instead of a pothole-filled road. Every day you choose healthy fats over processed ones, you're easing pressure off these tiny filters that work 24/7 to clean your blood. Walnuts also contain polyphenols and ellagic acid antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, the unstable molecules that damage kidney cells. When oxidative stress stays high, your kidneys tire faster, your energy drops, and that unexplained fatigue many kidney patients feel only gets worse. Adding antioxidants gives those cells a fighting chance to heal. Then there's magnesium, around 45 milligrams per ounce, a quiet mineral that helps relax blood vessels and regulate blood pressure. High blood pressure is one of the leading reasons kidney function declines. By supporting a steady pressure, magnesium indirectly helps lower creatinine and protect filtration. So how do you use them right? The key is moderation. About 1/4 cup per day, eaten in the morning or as a midday snack, is perfect. Pair them with unsweetened oatmeal or blend them into a smooth walnut butter. But skip the salted, candied, or chocolate-coated ones. They turn this natural medicine into a metabolic stressor. If you have sensitive digestion, soak your walnuts overnight. It softens the texture, releases more nutrients, and makes them easier on your stomach. What happened to Robert after he made that small change? 3 months later, his creatinine dropped from 1.8 to 1.5, and his GFR rose back to 54. He told me, "It feels like my kidneys can finally breathe again." And that's the power of giving your body the right kind of fuel. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's another dry fruit, sweet, chewy, and often underestimated, that can trap toxins before they ever reach your kidneys and protect you in a completely different way. Let's talk about dried apples next. When we talk about kidney health, most people think about avoiding salt or drinking more water. But here's something few realize. One of the easiest ways to protect your kidneys is not by flushing them, but by lightening their workload. That's exactly what dried apples do. They don't just taste like a sweet little snack. They act like a soft broom inside your digestive system, sweeping away the toxins that would otherwise reach your bloodstream and force your kidneys to handle the mess. Let me tell you about Susan. She was 61, still full of life, but constantly bloated and tired. Her creatinine had crept up to 1.7, and every time she ate, she felt sluggish. Instead of adding more supplements, we added something simpler, a small handful of dried apple slices every afternoon. Within weeks, her digestion improved, her bloating disappeared, and her next lab test showed her creatinine dipping down to 1.5. What happened wasn't magic, it was chemistry. Dried apples are rich in soluble fiber, about 2.7 grams per quarter cup. This type of fiber binds to what doctors call uremic toxins, waste compounds that form in your gut when food is digested. Normally, those toxins slip into your bloodstream and make their way to the kidneys, forcing them to work harder to clear the load. But when soluble fiber traps them early, they leave the body harmlessly through your stool. You're literally taking the pressure off your kidneys every time you snack smart. And there's more. Dried apples are packed with polyphenols and quercetin plant antioxidants that improve circulation in the tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys. Studies from the National Institutes of Health confirm that these compounds protect the delicate endothelial cells that line your kidney filters, helping blood flow stay smooth and even. Better blood flow means better filtration. It's like cleaning the pipes so the filter can finally do its job. One of the biggest advantages of dried apples over other dried fruits is that they're naturally low in potassium. For someone with impaired kidney function, that's a game changer. High potassium fruits like bananas or apricots can overwhelm weakened kidneys, raising the risk of irregular heart rhythms or dangerous electrolyte spikes. With dried apples, you get sweetness and fiber without the hidden risk. But here's where people go wrong. They grab the colorful, glossy packages at the supermarket, not realizing those apple rings are often coated in sugar and preservatives like sulfur dioxide. Those additives don't just ruin the nutritional value, they inflame your gut, spike your blood sugar, and over time worsen kidney stress. If the label doesn't say unsweetened and no preservatives, skip it. Better yet, make your own. Thinly slice fresh apples, bake them at 200 degrees for 2 hours, and you'll have a clean, crisp, kidney-friendly snack ready to go. What I love about dried apples is their versatility. You can toss them into Greek yogurt for a creamy crunch, mix them with raw nuts in a homemade trail mix, or even dice them into warm oatmeal for a naturally sweet breakfast. Little choices like this create daily habits that protect your kidneys without feeling like a diet. When Susan came back 3 months later, she said something that stuck with me. I didn't change my life. She said, I just changed what I reach for at 3 p.m. That's the beauty of it, simple swaps that create real change. But only knowing this isn't enough, because there's another dry fruit ahead that carries something your kidneys desperately crave, a nutrient that opens blood vessels, improves oxygen flow, and lowers the very pressure that's been wearing your kidneys out. Let's dive into almonds next, where one small handful can completely change the way your kidneys breathe. When Susan's energy returned, I could see her face light up. But she wasn't the only one. Around that same time, I met Harold, a 67-year-old former teacher who was always on the move, yet felt constantly exhausted. His blood pressure was through the roof, and his creatinine hovered at 1.9. He told me, Doc, I don't understand. I quit salt. I drink plenty of water. Why is this still happening? The answer, once again, wasn't just what he was avoiding, it was what his body was missing. Nutrients that keep the kidney's tiny blood vessels open, flexible and nourished. That's where almonds come in. Most people see them as a crunchy snack, but inside each almond is a pharmacy of kidney protective compounds. A single ounce, about 23 nuts, gives your body 1 gram of arginine, an amino acid that naturally relaxes blood vessels and improves circulation. Better circulation means your kidneys receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to work efficiently. Think of it as upgrading an old plumbing system. The smoother the flow, the less pressure builds up inside. Almonds also deliver one of the most underrated kidney nutrients of all, vitamin E. Just 1 ounce provides around 7.3 milligrams, and this antioxidant acts like armor for your kidney cells. It shields them from oxidative stress, the invisible rusting that occurs when free radicals build up from poor diet stress or medication overload. When oxidative stress drops, your cells regain the ability to repair, and that's when many patients notice their energy and focus slowly return. Then there's magnesium, about 76 milligrams per ounce. Research from the Mayo Clinic has shown that people with higher magnesium levels tend to maintain healthier blood pressure and better kidney function over time. Why? Because magnesium helps relax the arteries, reduces vascular stiffness, and lowers the pressure inside the delicate filters of the kidneys. For someone like Harold, that made all the difference. After 3 months of adding a handful of soaked unsalted almonds every morning, his blood pressure fell from 155/95 to 128/82, and his creatinine dipped to 1.6. I didn't change my meds, he told me. I just changed my breakfast. The key is simplicity. Choose unsalted raw or dry roasted almonds, never flavored honey-coated or barbecue-dusted ones, because those come loaded with sodium and additives that undo the benefit. If your digestion is sensitive, soak them overnight. It softens the nut, makes the nutrients more bioavailable, and gives you a smooth, buttery bite that's easier on the stomach. You can even blend a spoonful of almond butter into a smoothie with berries and unsweetened yogurt for a kidney-friendly boost that feels indulgent but heals from the inside. Every time I see a patient like Harold make that shift away from fear and toward nourishment, it reminds me how small choices can turn the tide. Because when you nourish your blood vessels, you're not just protecting your kidneys, you're protecting your heart, your brain, your entire circulation network. But only knowing this isn't enough, because the next dry fruit may look tiny and harmless, yet it holds a natural compound that can literally help your kidneys filter blood more efficiently and fight fatigue at the same time. Most people overlook it completely, and that's a mistake. Let's uncover the surprising power of raisins next. When Harold began regaining his energy, I reminded him that nutrition isn't about single miracles, it's about daily consistency. You don't heal your kidneys overnight. You rebuild them meal by meal, habit by habit. That's why the next food on our list surprises most people. It's something almost every household has, yet it hides one of nature's most powerful compounds for blood flow and kidney protection: raisins. At first glance, they look like simple dried grapes, sweet, wrinkled, nothing special. But inside those wrinkles lies resveratrol, the same potent antioxidant found in red grapes and even red wine. Harvard University studies have shown that resveratrol supports vascular health by improving nitric oxide production, which helps blood vessels relax and widen. That means smoother circulation, lower blood pressure, and better oxygen delivery to the kidneys. In simple terms, it's like giving your kidneys more air to breathe. Let me tell you about Thomas, a 70-year-old jazz musician who came to me constantly exhausted. His GFR had slipped to 45, and even walking up a few steps left him winded. Instead of piling on supplements, we focused on small changes. One of them was adding 2 tablespoons of unsulfured raisins into his breakfast oatmeal each day. Over time, he noticed something incredible: more energy, less swelling in his ankles, and a new sense of vitality that he thought was gone for good. His follow-up labs showed creatinine down from 1.9 to 1.6 and his red blood cell count improving. That's when I explained why. Raisins don't just feed you sugar, they feed your blood. They contain natural iron, a key mineral your body uses to build hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen. Many kidney patients struggle with mild anemia because damaged kidneys produce less erythropoietin, the hormone that signals your bone marrow to make red blood cells. By gently supporting iron intake through whole foods like raisins, you give your body what it needs to fight that fatigue naturally. And here's the second benefit: fiber. Just 1 ounce of raisins provides about 6 grams of dietary fiber, which helps bind waste and toxins in the intestines before they ever reach your kidneys. This means your kidneys filter less waste, reducing their daily workload. Johns Hopkins researchers have highlighted how diets rich in natural fiber lower circulating uremic toxins and slow the decline of kidney function over time. Now, not all raisins are created equal. The kind you buy in glossy boxes or yogurt-covered varieties often come loaded with added sugar, preservatives, or oils that actually harm your kidneys. The best choice: sun-dried, unsulfured raisins. Simple, dark, naturally sweet, nothing else added. About 2 tablespoons a day, or roughly 30 raisins, is all it takes. You can sprinkle them on oatmeal, toss them into a salad, or even mix them with a few walnuts and almonds for a balanced, kidney-safe trail mix. When Thomas told me he could play saxophone again without stopping to catch his breath, his eyes filled with tears. "Doc," he said, "I didn't know food could give me back my rhythm." And he was right, because when circulation improves, energy returns, and every organ starts performing like it's supposed to. But only knowing this isn't enough because the next dry fruit we're about to discuss doesn't just protect, it repairs. It contains a blend of plant proteins, antioxidants, and minerals that can help slow down kidney wear and even support better filtration. It's colorful, crunchy, and often overlooked in favor of less healthy snacks. Let's uncover the healing power of pistachios next. When Thomas rediscovered his rhythm, it reminded me of something I tell every patient: healing your kidneys isn't about cutting everything out. It's about learning which foods work with your body, not against it. And one of the most surprising examples of that is the humble pistachio. People think of it as just a colorful snack for parties, but inside those green shells lies a nutrient combination that can actually help repair the delicate filters of your kidneys. Here's the thing: most high-protein diets make your kidneys work harder, not smarter. But pistachios are different. They offer about 6 grams of plant-based protein per ounce, yet they generate far less nitrogen waste compared to animal protein. That means your kidneys don't have to overfilter to clear it out. Instead, this kind of protein gives your body what it needs to maintain muscle repair tissue and stay strong without pushing creatinine levels higher. I'll never forget Margaret, a 72-year-old grandmother who came to me terrified that she'd need dialysis soon. Her GFR had slipped to 38, and she'd been told to cut out nearly every protein source. She looked defeated. "Doctor, Ellis," she said, "what's left for me to eat?" So we built her plan around the right proteins, lighter kidney-safe options like white fish, tofu, and yes, pistachios. Within 2 months, her energy improved. Her swelling went down, and her labs showed her GFR rising back to 44. She smiled and said, "For the first time in years, I feel like I'm nourishing my body, not starving it." Pistachios don't stop at protein. They're rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful antioxidants often known for protecting the eyes, but they also guard kidney tissue from oxidative stress. The National Institutes of Health has found that these compounds help neutralize free radicals in renal tissue, slowing the microscopic wear and tear that drives kidney decline. Think of them as a repair crew working silently inside your cells, patching up damage before it spreads. They also carry a moderate amount of potassium, around 291 milligrams per ounce. For most people, that's a safe range, but moderation is everything. A small handful, about 1 ounce per day, or roughly 49 kernels, gives all the benefits without the overload. The problem comes when people grab the wrong kind. Flavored pistachios, garlic chili ranch, or those bright green dyed versions are full of sodium, artificial coloring, and chemical seasonings that stress your kidneys and raise blood pressure. Always choose raw or dry roasted unsalted pistachios. Keep them in an airtight jar away from light to preserve their delicate oils and flavor. Here's a little trick for older adults who have trouble chewing. Blending pistachios into a smoothie or homemade nut butter makes them easier to digest and absorb. You still get the same nutrients, just in a softer, smoother form that's gentle on your body. Pistachios also offer something few people expect: healthy fats that improve vascular function. Those monounsaturated fats help your arteries stay flexible, improving circulation throughout your kidneys. The more flexible your vessels, the more oxygen-rich blood can reach the glomeruli, the microscopic filters that determine your GFR. Over time, that means less pressure, less inflammation, and better filtration. Margaret later told me she'd made pistachios her evening ritual. Just a small handful while reading, paired with a cup of herbal tea. She said it helped her feel grounded, nourished, and hopeful. That's the beauty of natural healing. It's not about deprivation. It's about daily choices that whisper health back into your body. But only knowing this isn't enough, because what comes next isn't food at all. It's something even simpler. A practice so gentle yet so powerful it can lower your blood pressure, reduce swelling, and send a wave of fresh blood through your kidneys in just 15 minutes. You can do it at home right now without a single supplement or medication. Let's talk about one of the most restorative habits you can add to your life: the legs up the wall pose. When Margaret told me about her quiet evening ritual with pistachios, I smiled and said, "Now let's give your kidneys a rest in another way, without food, without pills." Because nourishment isn't only what you eat, it's also how you move, breathe, and let your body reset. And one of the simplest, most restorative tools I've ever taught patients is something anyone can do at home: the legs up the wall pose. It looks almost too simple to matter, You lie on your back, scoot close to a wall, and rest your legs straight up against it. That's it. Yet within minutes, your circulation begins to shift. Blood that normally pools in your legs gently drains back toward your heart, bringing with it oxygen-rich flow to your core organs, especially your kidneys. It's like giving your entire vascular system a moment of gravity-free relief. What happens next is subtle but powerful. The kidneys sit deep in your lower back, surrounded by a dense network of blood vessels. When you elevate your legs, the pressure in those vessels drops, allowing smoother blood movement through the renal arteries. This improves oxygen delivery supports, lymphatic drainage, and helps reduce the swelling many people notice around their ankles or under their eyes. For anyone living with kidney strain, that's a quiet miracle. The Cleveland Clinic calls this a restorative circulation reset. In clinical terms, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural healing mode. Your heart rate slows, blood pressure decreases, and cortisol levels fall. In everyday language, it means your kidneys can finally do their job without being squeezed by stress hormones or high vascular pressure. I remember David, a 64-year-old accountant who spent 10 hours a day sitting at a desk. His legs were always swollen by evening, and his doctor kept increasing his blood pressure meds. I showed him this pose, and he started practicing for 10 minutes every night before bed. Within 2 weeks, his swelling had nearly disappeared, and his readings dropped from 150/90 to 130/80. He said, "It feels like my body exhales." That's exactly what this pose does. It lets your entire system exhale. To do it safely, wait at least an hour after eating, place a pillow under your hips for support, and close your eyes. Focus on slow breathing 4 seconds in 6 seconds out. Even 10 minutes a day can make a measurable difference. And if you can hold it for 15, that's when your body begins to shift from tension to true restoration. Now you might be wondering, can something this gentle really help my kidneys? The answer is yes, but not by magic. It works because it improves circulation, oxygenation, and relaxation all at once, the very 3 things that every kidney needs to heal. Pair it with the foods we've discussed, and you're building a foundation that medicine alone can't replicate. But only knowing this isn't enough, because while you now understand the foods and habits that strengthen your kidneys, what truly matters is how you use them consistently, daily, intentionally. And that brings us to the final message I want to leave you with. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today's video, it's this: your kidneys are not your enemy. They're working for you every single second, quietly, tirelessly, even when you don't notice. And when you begin giving them the right support, they respond faster than you think. Every small choice matters. That glass of water instead of soda. That handful of walnuts or pistachios instead of chips. That 10-minute break with your legs up the wall instead of more stress. These tiny acts of care add up. They rebuild strength one day at a time. I know how overwhelming it can feel when your labs come back with numbers that scare you. Creatinine rising, GFR dropping. But please hear this. Those numbers are not the end of your story. They're just feedback, a signal that your body's asking for help, and you now know exactly where to begin. If this message resonated with you, do yourself and someone you love a favor. Save this video so you can come back to it whenever you need a reminder. Share it with a friend or family member who might be fighting the same silent battle. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Every week I share new evidence-based kidney insights, natural strategies, and real patient stories, because the more you understand your body, the more power you have to heal it. Your kidneys have carried you through decades of life. Now it's your turn to carry them with care, with awareness, and with hope. Remember, it's never too late to start protecting your kidneys. You don't need perfection, you just need consistency. One mindful choice a day can change the rest of your life. Stay strong, stay informed, and stay hopeful. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll take another step toward healing your kidneys naturally together.